After what seems like for a very, very long time, Go-Go Power Rangers is finally back with issue 13, and right away things kick off with the color swap arc at the end of the page, at the end of the issue, and things are kicking into gear. Stuff does not slow down. This was not a breather chapter. We get into the meat and potatoes right away with issue 13. And let's talk about it, let's preview it, let's talk about issue 13 of Go-Go Power Rangers by Boom Studios. Now, issue 13 opens up with 6 years before Arrival Day. Now, if you guys lost track or can't remember what Arrival Day was, this is what Go-Go Power Rangers has been doing. They do a little flashback before Arrival Day. The last arc before Shattered Grid was how Rita got her henchmen like Squat, Babu, Goldar, stuff like that. The earlier first 4 issues, I believe, they were talking about the Rangers' lives before that, how you see Kimberly's parents and stuff like that, how she went on a date with Matt. So there was a few little things about their past that we're learning about. So I feel like these next few issues in the color swap arc will be 6 years before Arrival Day, or before they became Rangers, which is Arrival Day. And 6 years is a big gap. I mean, we're going to be seeing what they were like in, I don't know, what do they call it, primary school, middle school, whatever you guys call it in America. We're seeing that before they were teenagers with attitude, they were pre-teens with attitude, I believe the correct saying is. But the issue opens up with Zack playing dodgeball, and he's winning. He's on a mean streak. He calls it the Zack attack, which I think he's mentioned in the show before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he is quickly shut down by what I thought was a new character when I saw the preview pages, but it's actually a young Matthew Cook, and Matthew is not out of the story. We'll get to Matthew in a bit, because Matthew, he walked away from the team, but he is sticking around. And starting with issue 13 of Go-Go Power Rangers, we also got a brand new artist. Now, I'm not very good at pronouncing this guy's name. I tried practicing before I recorded, and I just butchered it, but we've got a brand new artist. I'll have his name up on the screen for you guys to read, but his art style, or their art style, is very, very interesting. It's very anime-like with their expressions, because they'll do the little pupil eyes, they'll do the little cocking an eyebrow thing where they have the funny face. They do a lot of anime faces, but their action stuff is very, very cool. And when we get to the upper world that we see at the end of the issue, that looks awesome as well. So this artist is another good artist they've got for Go-Go Power Rangers. I like their expressions when they're in their civilian forms, and I love the monster designs, because we got to see Pudgy Pig at the start of this issue, and good old Pudgy Pig. We'll talk about Pudgy Pig in a bit. Now let's talk about Pudgy Pig now, because this issue starts off with the Rangers fighting Pudgy Pig, and I believe we get a few lines from the show. I would have a clip up, but they'll probably copyright me, because I don't want to get copyright claimed. But anyways, the Rangers defeat Pudgy Pig, and this is very, very early on in their career of being Rangers, where they use the Power Blaster to defeat Pudgy Pig. But this sets up for later down in the issue, where Rita says she's got a plan, and she holds up this weird potion which is going to play a part later down the line in the issue. And I gotta say, I love Rita's design with this brand new artist. All of the artists for the comic are really good at drawing Rita, and I just want to praise them for that, because they draw Rita so well. They give her this really cool design. They spare no attention to detail. They go all out, making her stand out, looking really cool, vicious like she is in this comic, a strong tactician and a planner like she is in this comic. She's a bit of a bumbling fool in the TV show for comedic effect, but in the comic she don't mess around. Rita don't mess around in the comics. We then cut to Trini's house, where she's looking for a yellow sweater, and her mum has this comment saying, "You've been fascinating over the same color, it's yellow, is there a boy that you like?" And yeah, so I kind of like that little line that her mum said, saying you've been fascinating over the same color for the past few months. So I'm guessing that's sort of like a meta joke, like ever since she became the Yellow Ranger, she's been wearing a ton of yellow outfits and yellow clothing. So I think it's a little wink wink nod nod, a little joke to the show here and there, which is a little funny thing, made me laugh a bit. But it's cool to see the relationship between Trini and her mum. We do hear it every now and then in the comics, in Mighty Morphin and in Go-Go, that she's sort of like that, I don't want to say stereotype, but that hard-working but caring Asian mother. I don't want to say too much, I'll probably get in trouble, but I think that's what they've written her as here and there. Like, she knows what's up with her daughter, when situations go down, so I think that's what they're going for. And on the next page is something we have to talk about, and that is Billy arrives home and his dad's got an old little car that if you've seen this show, you know what it is. And I ain't gonna dance around it. It's the origin of the Rad Bug, and this is pretty cool that we're getting sort of like a prequel to the Rad Bug in the Power Rangers comics, because Billy's dad saying, hey, I bought this old car, maybe we can fix it up together because you've got this special thing to make something special. And that's sort of like a wink and a nod where they bold that line where he says special. So it kind of shows that this little Rad Bug is going to be really rad later down the line in the actual show. That's really cool that we sort of see the origin of the Rad Bug, and I'm hoping that we see Billy fixing it up in the comics. Like, you'll see by the end of like Go-Go's run that he will have it ready, or maybe he'll have it ready in the comics of Go-Go. That'd be really cool. But another thing I'm really hoping that we get referenced again was way back in Shattered Grid. If you look, I mentioned this in my review, Billy was building some sort of Fallout armor, and if you listen to the Ranger Danger podcast, they pointed it out as well, and they asked Ryan, what's that going to be? Is that going to be in Shattered Grid? And it didn't appear in Shattered Grid, so maybe that little armor that we saw way back in issue 9 or 10, I believe it was, maybe we're going to see that down the line, because I'm hoping that armor is going to play a part in the thing. I'm sure it wasn't there just for decoration. I'm sure it must have been setting up for something. Unless it was there for decoration, that would kind of suck if it was there for decoration. But hopefully that armor plays a role in the series. That'd be pretty cool. We then cut to the Rangers in school, and Trini is talking to Billy, and she says to Billy that Jason hasn't been arriving at the juice bar early in the morning for his training, but Jason soon arrives at school and sort of explains what's going on, saying he's been training at home. And as he has that line of dialogue, there's a little panel down below that he's been attending to his father. If you don't remember, during Shattered Grid, Jason's father was very sick, and they talked him into getting the treatment, and Jason's been staying at home. He's been training at home also while attending to his father and helping him get better. So it's a really nice little touch. You see him helping his father out as he's getting better, and just a nice little touch. But after that, we then cut to Rita in the park. She's in New York, I believe, and she's trying to lure out the Rangers, but as she does that, she creates a door, and that's what she needs to do. She needs to create a portal to another dimension, which if you've read the comic, you know what we're talking about. She's going to be creating a portal to lure out the Rangers, and it does work, because we'll get to that fight later down the line. Because after that, it cuts to the Rangers in the lockers, and they pass Matt, and Matt hasn't been talking to the Rangers ever since issue 12. It's been 3 weeks, I believe, and he hasn't said a thing to any of the 5 Rangers. He's basically given them the silent treatment, which kind of sad, but he stuck to his word. He stuck to his word. He hasn't been talking to them ever since that incident, so props to him. He's just gone radio silent and silent in person, and it's just tearing Kimberly apart. She says she wants to tell them, she has to sneak around, because Matt knows, but they can't tell him. So, unfortunately, yeah, it's really sad. But Ryan did say Matt's journey isn't done in the comics just yet, so I'm hoping that Matt plays a big part in Go-Go. Everyone's saying that he might be a Ranger later down the line, who knows, but I think Matt's just going to be that support character that's going to help him out, who's like not a morphed hero. He'll just find out his plan later down the line. Hopefully he's gone through that crazy stuff that he did in Shattered Grid, where he's just running into battle, and he'll find his purpose soon. But I get the feeling Go-Go is going to end with Matt leaving town, or Matt just not talking to Kimberly, because if you remember in issue 25 when Shattered Grid started, Kimberly was talking about how she broke up with Matt. So Matt, I'm sure Matt's going to play some sort of part in Go-Go, even if he isn't talking to him. Matt is going to probably play another role in this arc. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does indeed, because I like Matt. Matt is a really cool character. The Rangers then get a call from Zordon that Rita is attacking New York, and I gotta say, every time they morph in Go-Go Power Rangers, it's always awesome. It's always a different kind of art style, it's always a different form of panel layering, Ooh, I mumbled up my words, so I'm going to keep that in. But anyways, when they do morph in the Go-Go Power Rangers comic, it's always different. It's always something different. Like the layering for the morph sequence is going to be different. They're always going to be doing a different pose, different style. It's so cool. It's just amazing. The way that Ryan gives them the, like, notes to just do a different morph sequence, it's going to be cool, and I can't wait to see more morph sequence. They're going to be even more cooler with the color swap art, because they're going to be saying different morph cries, which is going to be even more awesome, so I can't wait to see that later down the line in future issues. So that's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see stuff like that. That's going to be pretty cool. But anyways, the Rangers head to the monster and they fight the Mega Putty, which is just one big golem, one giant mess of putties morphed together, and the Rangers, it's just basically bait to lure the Rangers as Rita sets up the trap, which is a portal that sucks in Jason and Trini, and they are taken to another dimension. But Rita follows them in there, so that's weird that Rita's following them in there, because who knows what she's planning. I am very curious. I'm really hoping with Rita following them in there, but she's going to fight the Rangers one-on-one and take them on, because that'd be sort of like when Tommy fought Lord Zed back in season 2 or 3 of Mighty Morphin. That'd be really cool. So to have Rita maybe taking on Trini in this other dimension would be really cool, because Trini's going to have the power sword. As we know, they swapped colors, and it gets so to it right away that the Rangers are swapped right away through the portal, and as they are looking around, they are just basically surrounded by monsters. And I love how they were surrounded by monsters, because Trini's trying to do a morph cry and Jason's like, you might want to quiet down because we've got company. And that's where it sort of ends, with the Rangers, well, not the Rangers, with Jason and Trini being surrounded by a bunch of weird looking monsters in this brand new dimension. So we'll see where that goes in issue 14, because the color swap arc is looking good so far. So that pretty much wraps up my review of Go-Go Power Rangers issue 13, and I gotta say, it feels really great to have Go-Go Power Rangers back after taking what feels like forever. We wrapped up Shattered Grid back in August, I believe, because it feels like a really long time that break went on, because August was like nothing but Power Ranger comics, and then we took a break in September. October's nearly over and we're nearly entering November, so that break that Go-Go Power Rangers took just feels like a really long one, because yeah, it just feels like it took forever, but it's good to have it back. I'm excited for a brand new journey in this arc, because the color swap arc that they teased at Power Morphicon looks really fun. We're going to dabble into the romance of Jason and Trini, we're going to probably see some more Matt, we're probably going to see some more classic monsters, and whatever Rita is planning in this arc, because when Rita plans stuff in the comics, it's so good. Like, if you're watching this review for the first time, go back and read those earlier issues, because when Rita plans stuff in the comics, it is just crazy. She is just all over the place. Her plan in the early arc where she kidnaps Matt and like makes a clone to earn the Ranger's trust, that was just crazy, just awesome. And to see what she's going to be doing in this next arc, because she took a backseat in Shattered Grid where the Ranger Slayer was the main antagonist, it's going to be cool to see her shine again in this arc with Rita, because this is going to be the Rangers vs. Rita. The Ranger Slayer's out of the picture, even though I loved her so much. This is going to be the Rita show as she takes down the Power Rangers, and yeah, really good issue. I enjoyed the story, the pacing was really good, we saw some classic monsters, the art style is different, but it's really nice. It looks really nice, like the lighting and the contrast, that works really well together. This was a solid issue, and like I said, it wasn't a braver arc. We went right into the color swap arc right away with that tease at the end, and we're going to be diving more into it in issue 14, 15 and 16, I believe. So some more Power Ranger action down the line. So if you like this review, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because if you want to see more reviews of Go-Go Power Rangers and Beyond the Grid, I'm covering it on my channel. I'll be making theory videos and speculation videos, be looking at preview pages, we're going to be looking at Beast Morpher stuff as that leaks all over the place. So if you want some good Power Ranger content, hit the subscribe button and stick around, and also have a wonderful day and peace out.